On this edition of Lexington Now, a new vaccine clinic imagining Nicholasville Road and Raven Run. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of May 3rd, 2021. Mayor Gorton and Fayette County school and health officials announced a new COVID vaccination initiative aimed at high school students. We were there for the event.
Our community has gotten through this pandemic by relying on partnerships. And we're here today to talk about a partnership the city has formed with Fayette County Public Schools and Wild Health to provide vaccinations to high school students age 16 and over, their families, and school staff. We have nearly 1,000 people signed up for vaccinations at our 6 high schools, and I think that is fantastic. While we've got the opportunity to be with all of these young people, we thought they might also be interested in investigating some summer job opportunities. So we have some employers here also for them to talk to. I want to spend a few minutes today talking a little about the progress we're making in our city with vaccinations. Today, we have over 129,000 residents, over 40% of our population who are fully vaccinated. That includes 50% of our adults and 76% of those 65 and older. Even though we have a much bigger population than most Kentucky counties, we rank as one of the top 3 counties in Kentucky in terms of the percentage of our total population, of our adult population, that's vaccinated. I credit our residents and our ability to work together for this success. As I said earlier, partnerships have been the key to getting people vaccinated. This week, the city is partnering with Fayette County Public Schools and Wild Health to offer vaccines. The library is partnering with Health First Bluegrass, and the health department is partnering with Consolidated Baptist and Community Action Council. Our vaccine task force has worked together on a marketing campaign with Commerce Lexington to engage businesses and with the University of Kentucky Healthcare for mobile pop-up clinics to reach out to underserved populations.
As you know, partnerships are the key to any great endeavor and certainly a key to our community's success in reducing and being prepared to deal with this pandemic that just came out of nowhere and kind of hit us hard. Mayor Gorton has thanked Wild Health, and I want to do the same for making this a priority. Certainly want to give thanks to her office, Susan Straub, and others in her office for reaching out to us and inviting us to the table for this important endeavor. Want to thank Betsy Raines, who is the principal of this wonderful high school, and her administrative team, and for those that have worked with me since December as we have tried to come up with a way to return our students to school. Our COVID core team, or CCT as they're fondly known, worked all weekend to help put this together. The clinic that we're having today, this morning we were at Henry Clay, Lafayette, and Bryan Station. Wonderful turnout. This afternoon, we're here at Paul Lawrence Dunbar, but there are clinics also being held at Frederick Douglass High School and also Tates Creek High School. The clinic is going to offer the Pfizer vaccine, and they will have 2 doses. And the reason that it was so important for us to work with Wild Health this weekend was to ensure that we will be able to offer the 2nd dose before the end of the school year. So school ends in mid-May, May 18th. We'll be able to offer that 2nd dose before students go home for the summer. Although we want them to come back for summer school. That's another press conference. Again, we're going to be able to offer graduations this year. Our students are going to be able to have their proms. We're not back to where we want to be, but oh my goodness, what a difference a year can make. We are unifying and unified as a district and as a community. And Mayor Gorton certainly leads us by example. She leads us well. And we are so appreciative of her efforts and her support, and we thank her just immensely. So we can all do our part. We want to make sure that we end the school year with all of our students that want to be in class, and these vaccines certainly will go a long, long way. I am so proud of this community, and I am extremely proud of the FCPS family. Thank you so much.
Lexington has a comprehensive plan designed to guide future development in the city. And a part of that plan is Imagine Nicholasville Road. Kenzie Gleason of Planning talked to us about what it's all about.
Imagine Nicholasville Road is an offshoot of our city's comprehensive plan, which guides growth and development over the course of the next 20-some years. So it's the first quarter that we've looked at in this level of detail as it relates to the comprehensive plan. And we're asking ourselves questions like, as our community continues to grow and change, how do we want to direct that change? What outcomes are we looking for? Do we want sort of the status quo, or are there things that we're trying to achieve through the redevelopment and the process that occurs as the corridors evolve over time? We looked at the entirety of the corridor from downtown Lexington at the transit center, so the 2-way pair or the 1-way pair of Limestone and Upper Street that becomes Nicholasville Road, and continued that all the way actually to Brandon Crossing in Jessamine County, because that development really abuts the development in Fayette County as well. We see that there's opportunities for all of the commuters in Jessamine County. They could park their vehicles at Brandon Crossing if they so chose and use the bus rapid transit system to access destinations along the corridor, or to transfer at the transit center and get elsewhere in the city if they so chose. So we did look for the entirety of Nicholasville Road. I think it's about 6-7 miles, and made some recommendations about, what the different transportation improvements should be along. I think we looked at 6 different segments, because the corridor changes its character as you travel from the city center outside of town. As well as we selected several catalyst sites, is what we called them, places where we know that there's continuing change and redevelopment. Those were mostly focused in the retail portions, the commercial portions of the corridor, where we did some schematics to show how might this look in the future if we added residential or mixed-use development, and how many units could we possibly get out of these pieces of land, and what might that development look like? Having more internal roadways and walkways, plazas, those sorts of things that would be a pedestrian amenity for those that are either shopping or living in those areas. So we're actually coming to the end of the process. It was about a 1.5-year long planning process. We had several rounds of public input where we were able to conduct both surveys as well as in-person meetings. This was just prior to the current pandemic. We had almost 5,000 people respond to our survey to tell us what they would like to see along Nicholasville Road, how they would like to see that change over time. Much of Nicholasville Road is very car-centric. I think all of us agree that it's a bit of a nightmare to drive on. We all tend to avoid it, frankly, certainly during certain times of the day. And how can we make it a place that is more enjoyable to be and less congested? and perhaps more walkable and more transit oriented, so that if you did live somewhere where you could have the services you needed nearby for you for the day-to-day basis, but you needed to get down to campus or you work downtown and there's somewhere you need to go every day, would you be more willing to use public transit if you had a nice, fast, convenient service that was provided to you? So one of the concepts in Imagine Nicholasville Road is to develop a bus rapid transit system, which is kind of similar to what you would think of with a light rail system, where you have stations and you pay for a ticket and hop on the bus or the train, and it comes by on a regular, frequent basis, say every 10 minutes or so. But those can be extremely expensive to implement. So bus rapid transit allows you to provide some of that similar service, but with rubber tires rather than a train track. So our first immediate step is to adopt the plan as part of our comprehensive plan. So that really kind of makes sure that it serves as a guiding document going forward. There were some concepts that were proposed in the plan, including the bus rapid transit, as well as some innovative intersection improvements that would really improve traffic flow for vehicles as well. I mean, we looked at all modes across this. It's not just oriented towards bus or just towards cars. There were enhancements that were designed to improve the flow and the congestion for everyone. We will have future steps along the way to getting towards sort of the grand vision of the corridor. It's not intended to happen overnight, but it will guide that change over time, so that when we get to a certain point down the road, hopefully we have a more enjoyable, vibrant corridor than we have today. We currently have a project website, imaginenicholasvilleroad.com. We do plan to migrate that to our imaginelexington.com website in the future, but for now that's probably the easiest place to go. I also work for the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the transportation planning agency for Fayette and Jessamine County, and we have links on our website as well. We're at lexareampo.org.
When we come back, we take a trip to Raven Run.
So I can safely fly out of Lexington Airport to go see my grandson.
Because I like grocery shopping and going out shopping with my daughters.
So I can feel safe when I go shopping or go to the grocery.
In memory of my husband, Bill McCann, who was a community leader, and he would have supported this cause.
Help me and wear yours too.
Help me and wear a mask too.
Welcome back to Lexington Now. We took a trip to one of Lexington's most popular natural areas, Raven Run, and caught up with Recreation Manager Chris Poner. Chris gave us a look at what Raven Run has to offer and some upcoming events.
So I've been here for about 3 years now, and I've been in the manager position for about 3 months. Raven Run is the largest park in Lexington Parks and Recreation. It's 734 acres. Nature sanctuary here on the south end of Fayette County, on the border of Madison County and the Kentucky River. It has several points of interest. Along with that is going to be the Kentucky River Overlook, which several patrons go visit daily. It originally opened in 1977, and they've made several upgrades since then to the grounds here. We have a lot of areas that you wouldn't see in your typical parks throughout Lexington, Kentucky. We have the longest trail system that I'm aware of in Lexington. We have over 10 miles of trails. If you want to stay on the Meadow Loop, it's pretty beginner friendly. Some of the back trails are a little bit more primitive, and they can be a little bit more strenuous. We try to do our best to keep them maintained properly and appropriate for the amount of visitation that we have. So we get a lot of visitors coming out here to check out the wildflowers this time of year. On a regular day, if we have good weather, we're looking somewhere around 250 people. If it's going to be a weekend, we're looking closer to 600, 700 people. It has a pretty sharp decline if the weather's poor. If we have rainy conditions or snowy conditions, we're looking at below 50 people. We still have a couple people come out, but not a whole lot. Oddly enough, COVID really gave us a spike in our participation out here. Over the last couple months, we ended up canceling our registration that we had during COVID. During COVID, we would allow 75 cars into the parking lot at any given time. So since then, we've actually have canceled that, and now it's just open to the public. Some of the programs that we are going over now, the next one we're going to have is going to be the historic Prather program. It's going to be talking about the 19th century Prather home that we have on the property. And I'll be going through a little guided tour about the history behind it and who lived in the house prior and everything. A new program that we actually just rolled out is going to be the Prather Picnic Under the Stars. And it's going to be replacing our stargazing program, and people can come out here and bring their dinner with them, and they can picnic in the Prather area, and also they can also check out the stars while they're doing it. That is for May 30th. If you're looking for more information, please go to our website at lexingtonky.gov and search for Raven Run Nature Sanctuary, or go to our personal website at ravenrun.org.
You can find all the parks information you need on the city's website, lexingtonky.gov. The Town Branch Commons project is in high gear, and we talked with project manager Brandy Peacher for an update.
It's springtime and our contractors are moving full steam ahead through the heart of downtown. Construction is actively underway adjacent to the Lexington Center, and of course the Convention Center also has active construction as well. So if you drive by, you'll see a lot of activity going on, and oftentimes our contractor, Pace Contracting, and the Lexington Center's contractor, Messer Construction, are sharing the same footprint. So they are working side by side and sometimes right in line with each other as they try to complete both of these projects on time. And they're doing well, and we're making sure that both projects continue to move forward. So if you come down and you drive by the Lexington Center site, you'll be able to see the activity. The trail is actually piecing together nicely along the stretch between Mary Todd Lincoln House and Broadway, and you'll see the trail being intermittently completed. We're still having to maintain construction entrances for Messer's access to the Convention Center. So again, an example of how our two projects are working together. As you continue on down Vine Street, as you head east, a lot of what you've already seen is being refined between Broadway and Limestone, and a lot of the detail work is now happening. Our stonemasons are coming in, they're installing the signature limestone walls, and those we're really excited about. It is a signature feature that will be along the entire length of the project on Vine Street and Midland Avenue. Those walls were inspired by our dry stacked limestone walls you see in the rural areas. But the ones downtown obviously don't look the same. They are a contemporary take on our historic items that you see out in the bluegrass. So take a look for those. They are separating the bike and pedestrian facilities, the pathways in downtown. What you'll also see, the new lights going in, the installation of stones into our planting areas and our plant beds, and making way and preparing space for our bioswales. And those bioswales are those items we've talked about in the past, which are very exciting. They are a feature that will collect rainwater off of the roadway and treat that water and put it back into our system in a more clean, responsible way. So we're excited about all of the water features, the bioswales, the trees, the plantings that will be going in later this fall along Vine Street. The project is also now underway on Midland Avenue. And Midland Avenue will have a similar feel with the same rock walls, the same lush landscaping, but you will now have a path that is combined for bikers and pedestrians. That will be a 14-foot wide path, and along it you will have more generous space for plantings that you don't necessarily have on Vine Street. So it should be a nice change along the path as it begins to shape up. What's also exciting about Midland Avenue, that's where you'll start to have a few water features. So recirculating water fountains will be installed in 3 locations on Midland Avenue, and those are soon to be underway. So over the next 12 months, you'll really start to see this project shape up as we continue on Vine and Midland Avenue. And again, the whole project will be completed as planned by the end of 2022.
Most urban county government meetings continue to meet virtually, and we bring most of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. And we continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including testing and vaccination sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.